Good evening and welcome to tonight's news bulletin, coming to you live from this news center of the Sultanate of Oman television. But first, the headlines. With an investment value of 80 million Omani Riyals, a foundation stone is laid for a tourism complex in Salalah. At a cost exceeding 5 million Omani Riyals, the foundation stone for a Nyabatkara tourist waterfront project is laid in South Sharqiya Governorate. With more than 110 million Omani Riyals, the Development Bank financed 3,700 loans during the first half of this year. Good evening once again, and thank you for joining us. Those were the headlines, and now the news in detail. The Minister of Heritage and Tourism celebrated the groundbreaking of an integrated tourism complex in Janoof area in Wilayat of Salalah, with an estimated investment cost of 80 million Omani Riyals. The project is part of ongoing efforts to develop tourism assets in the Far Governorate. This project is considered a significant addition to Oman's tourism landscape due to its prime location and comprehensive components in both tourism and hospitality. The project is being implemented in partnership with Al Wathba Hospitality Company under a use of craft agreement signed in February 2025. The first phase is set to be completed within 30 months, includes the construction of a 5-star hotel featuring 124 hotel residential units, along with a fully equipped marina that will house restaurants, cafes, a beach club and a wellness center. This project represents a qualitative leap in developing tourism destinations in the Sultanate of Oman, particularly in the Far, which is rich in natural and environmental diversity. At a cost exceeding 5 million Omani Riyals, a ceremony was held in South Sharqiya Governorate to lay the foundation stone for a Nyabatkara tourist waterfront project. The project represents a qualitative addition to the rehabilitation of the waterfront of Nyabatkara in the Wilayah of Jalan Bani Bu Ali, according to a modern urban concept that takes into account environmental privacy and enhances the site's attractiveness. The ceremony was held under the auspices of His Excellency Dr. Yahya bin Badr al-Ma'wali, Governor of South Sharqiya. The Ministry of Labour, in coordination with the Ministry of Education and accredited universities, has announced 1,000 opportunities for male Omanis to enroll in the Educational Qualifications Diploma program. The initiative aims to prepare candidates to later complete for teaching positions in the Ministry of Education. To qualify, candidates must hold a bachelor's degree earned through full-time on-campus study, either in Oman or abroad. A minimum graduation GPA of at least 2.3 or of 4 or its equivalent. For degrees obtained from outside Oman, official equivalencies from the Ministry of Higher Education, Research and Innovation is mandatory. The degree must also meet a minimum of 60 credit hours for humanities and individual skill specialization and 45 hours for applied fields. Positioning itself a rising force in the global energy supply chain, Dham Refinery has reached a major export milestone just over a year since it began operations. More detail coming up in this report.
Dham Refinery celebrated the export of its 500th shipment of refined petroleum product through the Dham Export Terminal. Since its first shipment in May 2023, the refinery has exported over 19 million tons to markets worldwide, maintaining a perfect safety record. The refinery has achieved impressive loading rates of 130,000 barrels per hour using 5 berths simultaneously. It has also shipped more than 304,000 metric tons of liquefied petroleum gas and handled vessels of all sizes, from small carriers to super tankers. Dham has completed petroleum coke shipment totaling 50,000 tons, each in under 120 hours. It is now preparing to expand sulfur exports as part of its product diversification strategy. Operating above capacity, Dham Refinery now produces 255,000 barrels per day, over 110% of its design, marking rapid growth and rising global demand.
The Development Bank approved more than 3,000 loans for or worth 110 million Omani Riyals during the first half of 2025. These efforts align with the government's push to boost local industries, support SMEs, and achieve the goals of Oman Vision 2040. Once again, here is a report on that.
The Development Bank seeks to provide support and attractive facilities to various sectors in alignment with the government's direction to enhance national industries and achieve local added value. During the first half of this year, the bank approved 3,716 loans across different governorates with a total value of 110 million Omani Riyals, reflecting a 13% year-on-year increase. Among the most prominent sectors funded were the manufacturing sector with 38 million Riyals, the general professional services sector with 19 million Riyals, the agricultural, fisheries and livestock sector with 23 million Riyals, and the mining sector with 8 million Riyals. These loans, programs, and initiatives provided by the Development Bank for productive and service-based projects aim to add high added value to the national economy, support food security requirements, reduce imports, and encourage individual entrepreneurial initiatives. They also support small and medium-sized enterprises in line with the goals of Oman Vision 2040, which seeks to enhance economic diversification, support the private sector, and invest in productive and service economic sectors to achieve self-sufficiency in goods, products, and services.
The total refinery production in the Sultanate of Oman increased by more than 1% year-on-year by the end of June, while motor fuel production decreased by about 17% compared to the previous month. The National Center for Statistics and Information indicated an increase in motor fuel production of Type 91 approaching 8.66 million barrels. Meanwhile, motor fuel production of Type 95 decreased, reaching more than 6.418 million barrels. Diesel production increase exceeding 16.62 million barrels. Liquefied petroleum gas production saw a slight increase, reaching more than 3.76 million barrels by the end of June. You're watching the Sultanate of Oman television, and later to come in our news bulletin, Wildlife Breeding Center at Royal Court Affairs has successfully bred and protected a number of Arabian leopards from extinction. Once again, welcome to the news from the Sultanate of Oman television. Palestinians in Gaza said aid packages dropped by Israel and other nations yesterday and the dozens of aid trucks that entered the enclave are not enough and have not reached the population of more than 2 million people. Israel started implementing daily 10-hour tactical pauses in 3 areas of Gaza to allow limited humanitarian aid amid growing famine warnings. The United Nations warned the measures remain insufficient as risks of looting persist. Aid groups like the World Food Programme said safe corridors and sustained entry are essential. Images of emaciated children have fanned criticisms of Israel, including allies who call for the wars end. Israel's military said 28 aid packages containing food were airdropped yesterday and said it would put in place secure routes for aid delivery. The United Nations World Food Programme said it had enough food in or on its way to feed all of Gaza for nearly 3 months. Now, all the way to Thailand. Thailand and Cambodia have agreed to an unconditional ceasefire to end deadly border clashes. Malaysian Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim announced the agreement today after talks as head of ASEAN region bloc. The ceasefire takes effect from midnight local time Tuesday. Military and officials from both countries will meet to defuse tensions. The clashes began last Thursday after a landmine explosion wounded Thai soldiers. The violence has killed at least 35 people and displaced over 260,000. The ceasefire marks a significant step towards peace and security in the region. In Athens, firefighters raced to tackle a wildlife that broke out today near a university campus near the center of the Greek capital. Water-dropping planes and helicopters buzzed over the center of Athens as they headed on the wildfire near the campus, which is located in the foothills of Mount Hymettus, one of the mountains ringing the Greek capital. In all, 11 planes and 8 helicopters were reinforcing 110 firefighters on the ground, the fire department said. Police announced road closures in the area, including to the city's only highway, Ring Road. Back here in the Sultanate, the Minister of Commerce, Industry and Investments Promotion in North Al Batna Governorate, in cooperation with Credit Oman, has launched a 4-day training program focused on the harmonized system and customs tariffs. The program addresses common errors in customs declarations, which can lead to shipment delays or financial responsibilities. Participants received visual presentation and awareness lectures on the types of customs data, applicable taxes on goods, and the officially recognized customs exemptions. Now, the Royal Court Affairs has successfully bred and protected a number of Arabian leopards from extinction by providing healthcare, proper nutrition, and a suitable environment for their reproduction. One of the most notable births at the Wildlife Breeding Center is the female Arabian leopard named Al-Muzn, now approximately 2.5 years old, which is in excellent health after receiving continuous monitoring by specialists at the center. The center is currently caring for several Arabian leopards originally from Samhan Mountain in the Far Governorate, with the goal of increasing their population, protecting them from extinction, and eventually reintroducing them into the wild after ensuring their ability to survive and reproduce. Additionally, the center exchanges expertise, knowledge, and research with other breeding centers in the region. It's worth noting that the center also breeds and conserves various other species native to Oman's environment, such as the Arabian gazelle, the Arabian tahir, and other wildlife. This is the Sultanate of Oman Television. Before we end tonight's bulletin, here are the main points once again. With the investment's value of 80 million Omani Riyals, a foundation stone is laid for a tourism complex in Salalah. At a cost exceeding 5 million Omani Riyals, the foundation stone for Al-Ashkhara Tourism and Waterfront project is laid in South Sharqiya Governorate. And with more than 110 million Omani Riyals, the Development Bank financed 3,700 loans during the first half of this year. And with that, we do conclude this news bulletin. Thank you for joining us and good night.